Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya Jayo Nityananda
Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya Jayo Nityananda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta
Nyasam Vidhayot Pranayo At Gauro Vrindavanam Gantu Mana Brahmaryaha Radhe Brahmam Shanti Purim Ayitya Lalasa Bhakte Ihatam Nato Asmi. This is one, always a chapter is summarized in one Sanskrit shloka. After accepting the sannyas order of life, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of intense love of Krishna, wanted to go to Vrindavan. Apparently by mistake, he wandered in the Radha Desha. Later he arrived in Shantipura and enjoyed himself there with his devotee, the often respectful obeisance to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if you see that way, actually the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu makes the attempt of Vrindavan 3 times, and only 3rd time he's successful. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Nityananda, all glories to Advaita Prabhu, all glories to the devotee of the Lord Chaitanya, headed by Srivas. At the end of his 24th year in the month of Magha, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted a sannyasa order during the waxing period of the moon. Take care, please. After accepting the sannyasa order, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of intense love of Krishna, started from Vrindavan. However, he mistakenly wandered about in the trance continuously for 3 days in a tract of land known as Radha Desha. And this was, the confusion created by Nityananda Prabhu, because he knew everywhere. Childhood only he had left his home with the sannyasi and seen all the places. So he was telling Chaitanya, I'll guide you, and he guided him wrong. And because the whole plan was that, can he meet his mother once before he goes? Number one. Number two, even other devotees at Navadi wanted to see him. He was a life for everybody. So it suddenly takes sannyas and vanishes, people will feel bad. So they arranged a meeting where people could come and see. Passing through the tract or land known as the Radha Desha, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited the following verse in ecstasy. Radha Desha, the place, they say the place where Ganges doesn't flow. The part of Bengal, western side of Ganges is Radha Desha. Another name is Pondra Desha or Pendu Desha. Okay. A Brahmana from Avanti Desha said, I shall cross over the unsurmountable ocean of nations by being firmly fixed in the service of the lotus feet of Krishna. This is approved by the previous acharyas who were fixed in firm devotion to the Lord, Paramatma, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu approved the purport of this verse on account of a determination the mendicant devotee engaged in service of the Lord Mukunda. He gave it approval of this verse, indicating that it was very good. The real purpose of accepting sannyasa is to dedicate oneself to the service of Mukunda. By serving Mukunda, one can actually be liberated from the bondage of material existence. After accepting sannyasa order, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to go to Vrindavan, engage himself wholly and solely in the service of Mukunda in a solitary place. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was en route to Vrindavan, all the ecstatic symptoms became manifest. He did not know in which direction he was going, nor did he know whether it was day or night. And this is the ecstasy in total surrender. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Vrindavan, Nityananda Prabhu Chandrasekhar and Prabhu Mukunda followed him. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed through Radha Desh, whoever saw him in ecstasy explained, Hari Hari. As they chanted this with the Lord, all the inhabitants of material existence diminished. All the coward boys who saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passing joined with him and began to shout loudly, Hari Hari. When he heard all the coward boys also chanting Hari, Hari, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very pleased. He approached them and put his hand on their heads and said, go on chanting like that. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then thus blessed them all, saying that they were all fortunate. In this way, he praised them. And he felt very successful because they chanted the holy name of the Lord Hari. Calling all the boys in confidence and telling a reasonable story, Nityananda Prabhu instructed them as follows. If Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asks you about the path to Vrindavana, please show him the path of the bank of the Ganges instead. So Nityananda Prabhu is planning all from behind. When the coward boys were questioned by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about the path to Vrindavana, the boys showed him the path to the bank of the Ganges. The Lord went that way in ecstasy. As the Lord proceeded along the bank of the Ganges, Sri Nityananda Prabhu requested Acharya Ratna Chandrasekhar Acharya to go immediately to the house of Advaita Acharya. As Sri Nityananda Prabhu told him, I shall take Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the bank of the Ganges at Shantipuran. Advaita Acharya should carefully stay there on the shore with the boat. Be ready. After that, Nityananda Prabhu continued, I shall go to Advaita Acharya's house and he should go to Navadip and return to the Mother Sachi and all other devotees. At the point was, he was being merciful to Mother Sachi. Bring her and all other devotees who want to see him. After sending Acharya Ratna to the house of Advaita Acharya, Sri Nityananda Prabhu went before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and gave notice of his coming. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in ecstasy and he asked where Nityananda Prabhu was going. Nityananda replied that he was going with him toward Vrindavana. The Lord asked Nityananda Prabhu how far it was to Vrindavan. Nityananda Prabhu, just see, here is the river Yamuna has come. He cheated him. Saying that Nityananda Prabhu took Chaitanya Mahaprabhu near the Ganges and the Lord in his ecstasy, accepting the river Ganges as the river Yamuna. The Lord said, oh, what a good fortune I have seen the river Yamuna. Thus thinking the Ganges river Yamuna, Chaitanya began to offer his prayer to her. Oh, river Yamuna, you are the blissful spiritual water that gives love to the son of Nanda Maharaj. The same as the water of the spiritual Lord, for you can vanquish all our offenses and the sinful reaction incurred in life. You are the creator of the auspicious thing in the world. Oh, daughter of sun god, kindly purify us by your pious activities. Okay, this is quoted. After reciting this mantra, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered obeisance and took his bath in the Ganges, thinking to be Yamuna. At that time, he had only one piece of underwear and there was no second garment. You know the plan, the cloth and all, so his clothes were wet. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was standing there without a second garment, Advaita Acharya arrived in a boat, bringing with him new underwear and external garment. When Advaita Acharya arrived, he stood before the Lord and offered his obeisances. After seeing him, the Lord began to wonder about the entire situation. How can Advaita Acharya reach Vrindavan and boat? He's thinking, what is happening here? Still next to the Lord asked Advaita Acharya, why did you come here? How did you know that I was within Vrindavan? Advaita Acharya disclosed the whole story, telling Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, wherever you are, that is Vrindavan. Now it's my great fortune I come to the bank of the Ganges, he revealed to him. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then said, Nityananda has cheated me. He has brought me to the bank of the Ganges and told me it was Yamuna. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accused Nityananda of cheating him, Advaita Acharya said, whatever Nityananda Prabhu has told is not false. You indeed just not taken part in the river Yamuna. You know what happens? Ganges and Yamuna is like this. So Yamuna is coming from below. Okay, you understand? They're touching two tributaries. So which side he had taken bath, that was Yamuna side. Okay. So Advaita Acharya explained the spot both Ganges and Yamuna flow together on the western side or Yamuna on the eastern side of the Ganges. Advaita Acharya then suggested that since Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taken his bath in Yamuna and his underwear now wet, the Lord should change his underwear for dry garments. Advaita Acharya said, you have now been fasting continuously for 3 days in your ecstasy of love of Krishna. I therefore invite you to my home where may I kindly take your arms. Come with me to my residence. Advaita Acharya continued, at my home I just cooked a little palmful of rice. The vegetables are always very simple. There is no luxurious cooking, simply a little liquid vegetable and spinach. With Advaita Acharya, Lord Shiva. Now look how he serves Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Saying that Advaita Acharya took the Lord into a boat and brought the Lord to his residence. Then Advaita Acharya washed the feet of the Lord and consequently very happy with him. All the eatables are first cooked by the wife Advaita Acharya. Then Advaita Acharya personally offered everything to Lord Vishnu. So Advaita Acharya is actually a combination Lord Shiva and Mahavishnu. So there is big service element there. All the prepared food was divided into 3 equal parts. One part was arranged on a metal plate for offering to Lord Krishna. Other 3 divisions, one was arranged in a metal plate, another 2 were arranged in a plantain leaf. These leaves were not bifurcated, taken from a banana tree that is at least 32 bunches of banana, but a big banana tree. 2 plates were filled very nicely with kinds of food described below. The cooked rice was stacked in a very fine grain, nicely cooked, and in the middle was the yellow clarified butter from the milk of the cows. Surrounding the stacks of rice are pots made of skins of banana trees, and the pots were varieties of vegetables and moong dal. Okay, those who cook know how to cook, just look at it. Among the cooked vegetables are patolas, squash, manaku, a salad made with a piece of ginger, and various types of spinach. There was shukta, bitter melon mixed with all kinds of vegetables, defying the taste of nectar. There are 5 kinds of bitter and pungent shukta. So he told him little rice, but actually Adhacharya arranged a huge feast for the Lord. Among the various vegetables that are newly grown leaves are nimba tree fried with eggplant. The fruit known as patola was filled with hulavadi, the kind of dal preparation, was mashed and then dried in the sun. It's also a preparation known as kusumanda manachaki. The preparation made with coconut pulp mixed with the curd and raw candy was also very sweet. There was a curry made of banana flour and the squash boiled in milk, all in great quantity. There were small cakes in sweet and sour sauce and 5 or 6 kind of soap preparation, not the cakes you eat in the market, but not the bakery, no, the baking at that. All the vegetables were so made that everyone present could take prasadam. The soft cakes made with moong dal, soft cakes made with ripe bananas, soft cakes made with urad dal. There were various kinds of sweetmeats, condensed milk mixed with rice cakes, a coconut preparation, every kind of cake desirable. All the vegetables were served in pots made of banana leaves taken from the trees, producing at least 32 bunches of bananas. That means big trees. These pots are very strong, big, and did not tilt or totter. All around the 3 eating places were 100 pots filled with various kinds of vegetables. Along the various vegetables were the sweet rice mixed with ghee. This was kept in a new earthen pot. Earthen pots filled with highly condensed milk were placed in 3 places. Which are other preparation, condensed milk, we say rabadi. We saw the rabadi in Jagannath Puri. Beside the other preparation, there was chipped rice made with milk and mixed with bananas, also white squash boiled in milk. Indeed, it is not possible to describe all the preparations that are made. In the 2 places, there were earthen pots filled with another preparation made of yogurt and sandesha, sweetmeat made with sandesha here, and banana. I'm unable to describe it all. Upon the stack of boiled rice and all the vegetables of flowers of tulsi trees, and there were also pots filled with scented rose water. The 3 sitting places, soft cloth was placed. The Lord Krishna was offered all the food, and Lord took it very pleasantly. It is system, therefore, after offering to perform Bhogarti, Adhacharya asked the 2 brothers, Lord Chitanya Prabhu, come and see the Arati. 2 lords and the other present went to see the Arati ceremony. After the Arati was performed for the deities in the temple, Lord Krishna was made to lie down to rest. Adhacharya then came out to submit something to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Advaita Prabhu said, my dear lords, kindly enter this room. The 2 brothers, Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu, then came forward to take prasada. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu went to accept the prasada. They both called Mukunda and Haridasa to come with them. How Mukunda and Haridasa both folded hands spoke as follows. Mukunda called, he submitted, my dear sir, I have something to do that is not yet finished. Later I shall come to take the prasada. So you 2 now please enter the room. Haridas Thakur said, I am the most sinful and the lowest among men. Later I shall eat one palmful of prasadam while waiting outside. Adhacharya took Nityananda Prabhu and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu within the room, and the 2 lords saw the arrangement of the prasada. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was especially very much pleased. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu approved all the method employed in cooking and offering food to Krishna. Indeed, he was so pleased, he said, frankly, I'll personally take the dust of lotus feet of anyone who can offer to Krishna such nice food and place those feet on my head birth after birth. So, cooking is also great service. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so pleased. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered the room, he saw the 3 divisions of food and he knew that all the these were meant for Krishna. How he did not understand the intention of Advaita Acharya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, let us sit down in these 3 places and we shall take prasadam. However, Advaita Acharya said, I shall distribute the prasada. Sri Chaitanya Prabhu then thought that all the 3 servings were meant for distribution. Therefore, he asked for another 2 banana leaves, saying, let us have a very little quantity of vegetable and rice. Although the Acharya now getting angry. Just sit down there on the seats. He's ordering, sit down. Catching their hand, he sat them both down. Sri Chaitanya Prabhu said, it is not proper for a sannyasi to eat such a variety of foods. If he does, how can he control the senses? So this instruction of Srila Prabhupada that we should eat simple. In fact, Prabhupada says all the rich food, give it to the grahasthas. Their children are their family, they can distribute. Brahmachari, even though we offer big feast, we should eat simple. When Sri Chaitanya Prabhu did not accept the food that had already been served, Advaita said, please give up your concealment. I know what you are, and I know the confidential meaning of accepting the sannyas order. Well, Lord, I know everything. Please don't play with me. Advaita Acharya then requested Sri Chaitanya Prabhu to eat and give up juggling word. The Lord replied, I certainly cannot eat so much food. Advaita Acharya then requested the Lord to simply accept the prasada without pretense. If he could not eat at all, the balance could have left in the plate. Sri Chaitanya Prabhu said, I will not be able to eat so much food, and it's not duty of a sannyas to leave remnants. In this connection, Advaita Acharya referred to Chaitanya Prabhu eating at Jagannath Puri. Lord Jagannath and Sri Chaitanya Prabhu were identical. Advaita Acharya pointed out that at Jagannath Puri, Sri Chaitanya Prabhu ate 54 times each day, and each time he ate many hundreds of pots of food. Sri Advaita Acharya said, the amount of food that the 3 people can eat does not constitute even a morsel for you. In proportion to that, his edibles are not even 5 morsels of food for you. Advaita Acharya continued, by my great fortune, you have just come to my home. Please do not juggle words. Just begin eating and do not talk. He is requesting because his elder is scolding also. Upon seeing that, Advaita Acharya supplied water to 2 lords so they could wash their hands. The 2 lords then sat down and smilingly began to eat prasadam. Now, Nityananda Prabhu will start playing. Nityananda Prabhu said, I have undergone fasting for 3 days continuous. Today, I hope to break my fast. Although Sri Chaitanya Prabhu thinking that the quantity of food is enormous, Nityananda Prabhu, on the contrary, thought that it was not even a morsel. He had been fasting for 3 days, and he hoped to break fast on the day. Indeed, he said, although I am invited to eat by Advaita Acharya, today also is a fast. So small quantity of food that not even fill half my belly. Okay, voice is clear. Advaita Acharya replied, sir, you are a mendicant traveling on pilgrimage. See, his relation with Nityananda Prabhu is always playful. Huh? You're a mendicant traveling on pilgrimage. Sometimes you eat fruits and roots, sometimes you simply go on fasting. I'm a poor Brahmana. You come to my home. Please be satisfied with whatever little food you have received and give up. Give up your greedy mentality. The Lord Nityananda Prabhu said, whatever I may be, you have invited me, therefore you must supply as much as I want to eat. In divine grace, Advaita Acharya, after hearing the statement, Nityananda Prabhu took the opportunity presented by the joking words and spoke to him as follows. Advaita Acharya said, you are a rejected Paramahamsa. They are fighting. Huh? Can you see this? You are a rejected Paramahamsa, and you accepted rounds out of life just to fill up your belly. Now, actually, Prabhupada takes every word, and every word actually 2 meanings. So direct meaning is coming like that, but there is indirect meaning where he's actually glorifying Nityananda Prabhu. You rejected Paramahamsa and you accepted an ounce out of life just to fill up your belly. I can understand that your real business is to give trouble to the Brahmanas. Advaita Acharya accused Nityananda Prabhu saying, you can eat 10 to 20 manas of rice. I am a poor Brahmana. How should I give you so much rice? Whatever you have, though it be palmful of rice, please eat it and get up. Don't show your madness and strew the remnants of food here and there. In this way, Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ate and talked to Advaita Acharya jokingly. After eating half of the vegetable preparation given to him, Sri Chaitanya abandoned and went to the next. As soon as half of the vegetable in the pot was finished, Advaita Acharya filled it up again. Now, there was one person who read this pastime, and he invited us to their house and started doing the same thing. I said, it is not feasting, it is torture. Because if you do like that to an ordinary living entity, it will be impossible. The pot was finished, Advaita Acharya filled it up again. In this way, as soon as the Lord finished half the preparation, Advaita Acharya again filled it up. After filling a pot with vegetables, Advaita Acharya requested them to eat more. And Chaitanya Prabhu said, how much more can I go on eating? So anything he ate, he filled it back again. So the Lord said, how much you want me to eat? Advaita said, please do not give up whatever I have already given you. Now, whatever I am giving, you may eat half and leave half. In this way, by submitting various humble requests, Advaita made Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda, Lord Nityananda Prabhu eat. Thus, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fulfilled all the desires of Advaita Acharya. Again, Nityananda Prabhu jokingly said, my belly is not yet filled up. Please take away your food. I have not eaten. I have not taken the least of it. After saying that, Nityananda Prabhu took a handful of rice and threw on the floor in front of him as if he was hanging. When 2 pieces of rice were thrown, touched his body, Advaita Acharya began to dance in various ways with the rice still stuck to him. Actually, he's in ecstasy. Nityananda Prabhu is Balaramji. He's in ecstasy, but externally they are having fun. When rice thrown by Nityananda Prabhu touched his body, Advaita Acharya thought himself purified with the touch of the remnant thrown of Paramahamsa Nityananda. Therefore, he began dancing. Advaita Acharya jokingly said, my dear Nityananda, I invited you, and indeed I have received the results. You have no fixed caste or dynasty. By nature, you are a madman. To make me madman like yourself, you have thrown the remnant of food at me. You do not even fear the fact that I am a Brahmana. Nityananda Prabhu replied, these are the remnants of food left by Lord Krishna. If you take them to ordinary remnants, you have committed an offense. Nityananda Prabhu said, if you invite at least 100 sannyasis to whom and feed them sumptuously, your offense will be nullified. Advaita Acharya, now you see that conversation going on. Advaita Acharya said, I never invite another sannyasi, for it is a sannyasi who has spoiled my all Brahminical smriti regulation. After this, Advaita Acharya made the Lord wash their hand and mouth. And they took them to the nice bed and made them lie down to take rest. Advaita Acharya fed them cloves and cardamom mixed with tulsi flower. Then there was a good flavor within their mouths. Shri Advaita Acharya then smeared the body of the Lord with sandal pulp and then placed a fragrant flower garlands on their chest. The Lord lay down on the bed. Advaita Acharya waited to massage his legs, but the Lord was very hesitant and spoke to followers to Advaita Acharya because he was elder, like his father says, Advaita Acharya. Sri Chaitanya Prabhu said, Advaita Acharya, you have made me dance in various ways. Now give up this practice. Go with Mukunda and Haridasa and accept your lunch. Thereupon Advaita Acharya took prasadam with Mukunda and Haridasa. See how sweet are the dealings. And they all wholeheartedly ate as much as they desired. When the people of Shantipur heard the Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was staying there, they all immediately came to see his lotus feet. Being very pleased, all the people loudly began to shout the holy name of the Lord, Hari Hari. Indeed, they became struck with wonder upon seeing the beauty of the Lord. They saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very fair complexion body and his bright luster, which conquered the brilliance of the sun. Over and above this, there was the beauty of saffron garment that glittered upon his body. People came and went with great pleasure. There was no calculating how many people assembled before the day was over. As soon as it was evening, Advaita Acharya began the congregational chanting. He even began to dance himself, and the Lord saw the performance. When Advaita Acharya began to dance, Nityananda Prabhu began dancing behind him. Haridas Thakur, being very pleased, also began dancing behind him. Advaita Acharya said, my dear friend, what shall I say? Today I have received the highest transcendental pleasure. After many, many days, Lord Krishna is in my house. Look at this. This is a Vidyapati's song. He's just chanting. Advaita Acharya led the Sankirtana part with great pleasure. He sang this verse. The manifestation of ecstatic perspiration, shivering, raised hair, tears in his eyes, sometimes thundering and bellowing. While dancing, Advaita Acharya could sometimes turn around and catch the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Advaita Acharya then speak to him as follows. Advaita Acharya said, many days you escaped me by bluffing. Now I have you in my home and I shall keep you bound up. After speaking, Advaita Acharya performed congregational chanting with great pleasure for 3 hours that night and danced all the time. In fact, Srila Prabhupada will comment that every temple, 3 hours evening Sankirtana should happen. So most of us not able to reach that standard, but that was Prabhupada desire. A later devotee submitted, Prabhupada, 3 hours you're not able to do. So Prabhupada said, okay, at least do for 1 hour. Okay, but Advaita Acharya is an example, holding for 3 hours Nama Sankirtana every day. When Advaita Acharya danced in that way, Lord Chaitanya felt ecstatic love of Krishna, and because of his separation, waves of flames of love increased. Being agitated by the ecstasy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suddenly fell to the ground, seeing that Advaita Acharya stopped dancing. When Mukunda saw the ecstasy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he understood the feeling of the Lord and began to sing many stanzas, augmenting the force of Lord's ecstasy. Advaita raised the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to help him dance with the Lord. After hearing the stanzas sung by Mukunda, could not be held due to his bodily symptoms. Tears fell from his eyes, his whole body trembled, his hair stood on the end, he perspired heavily, and all his words altered. Sometimes he stand, sometimes he fell, and sometimes he cried. Mukunda said, "My dear intimate friend, what has not happened to me? Due to the effect of the poison of love for Krishna, my body and mind have become severely afflicted. My feeling is like this. My mind burns day and night, and I cannot go. I get no rest. If there was some place I could go to meet Krishna, I would immediately fly there." This is Radharani's mode of separation from Krishna. Stanza was sung by Mukunda in a very sweet voice, but as soon as Sri Chaitanya heard the stanza, his mind went to pieces. The transcendental ecstatic symptoms of disappointment, moroseness, pleasure, restlessness, pride, humility all began to fight like soldiers within the Lord. The entire body of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to totter due to the onslaught of various ecstatic symptoms. As a result, he immediately fell to the ground and the breathing almost stopped. Upon seeing the condition of the Lord, all the devotees became very anxious, and suddenly the Lord got up and began to make thundering sounds. Upon standing, the Lord said, "Go on speaking, go on speaking." Then he began to dance, overwhelmed with pleasure. No one could understand the strong wave of this ecstasy. Lord Nityananda Prabhu began to talk with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to see that he would not fall. Began to walk with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so that he would not fall. And Advaita and Haridas Thakur followed them dancing. In this way, the Lord danced for at least 3 hours, sometimes simple ecstasy visible, including pleasure, moros, and other waves of ecstatic emotional love. The Lord then had been fasting for 3 days, and after that period, he took eatable substances. Thus, when he danced and jumped high, he became a little fatigued. Being fully absorbed in love of Godhead, he would not understand his fatigue, but Nityananda Prabhu, catching him, stopped him dancing. Although the Lord was fatigued, Nityananda Prabhu kept him steady by holding him. At that time, Advaita suspended the chanting. By rendering various services to the Lord, made him lie down to take rest. For 10 continuous days, Advaita held feasting and chanting in the evening. He served the Lord in a way without any change. In the morning, Chandrasekhara brought Sachimata from her house with many devotees, and he seated her in a palanquin. So the plan is going on. In this way, all the people of the town of Nadia, including all women, boys, old men, came. Thus the crowd increased. In fact, except his wife, everybody came, looks like that. Wife, according to sannyasa regulations, should not meet the husband, but except that, he met everyone. In the morning, after regular duties are completed, all the Lord and the Lord was chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The people accompanied Sachimata to the house of Advaita Acharya. As soon as Mother Sachi appeared on the scene, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell to the ground, fell before her like a stick. Mother Sachi began to cry, taking the Lord on the lap. Seeing each other, they both became overwhelmed. Seeing the Lord's head without hair, Mother Sachi became greatly agitated. Out of lust, she began to caress the body of the Lord. Sometimes she kissed his face, tried to observe him carefully, but because her eyes are filled with tears, she could not see. Understanding the Lord Chaitanya accepted, renounced out of life, Sachimata crying said to the Lord, "My darling Nimai, do not be cruel like Vishrupa, your elder brother." Mother Sachi continued, after accepting the renounce order, "Vishrupa never again gave me audience. If you do like him, that will certainly be death for me." The Lord replied, "My dear mother, please hear, this body belongs to you. I do not possess anything. This body was raised by you and it comes from you. I cannot repay the debt even in millions of births. Knowingly or unknowingly, I accepted the renounce order. Still, I will never be indifferent to you. My dear mother, wherever you ask me to stay, I shall stay, and wherever you order, I shall execute." Saying, the Lord offered obeisances to his mother again and again, and Mother Sachi, being pleased, took him again and again on her lap. Advaita Acharya took Mother Sachi within the house. The Lord was immediately ready to meet all the devotees. The Lord met all the devotees one after another, looking at everyone's face individually, embraced them tightly. All the devotees were unhappy not seeing the Lord's hair. They nonetheless derived great happiness from seeing his beauty. Shivasa, Ramai, Vidyanidhi, Gadadhara, Gangadasa, Vakresha, Murari, Shuklambara, Buddhimantaka, Nandana, Sridhara, Vijaya, Vasudeva, Damodara, Mukunda, Sanjay, and all the devotees, however many I can mention, indeed, all of them inhabitant Navadip arrived there. The Lord met them with smiles and glance of mercy. Everyone was chanting the holy names of Hari and dancing. In this way, the domicile of Advaita Acharya was converted into Sri Vaikuntapuri. People came to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from various other villages nearby as well as Navadip. To everyone who came to see the Lord from villages nearby, especially Navadip, Advaitacharya gave residential quarters as well as all kind of eatables for many days. Indeed, he's properly adjusted everything. So he made Mahavishnu making arrangement is not difficult. The supplies of Advaitacharya were inexhaustible and indestructible. As many goods and commodities as he used, just as many again appeared. From the day Sachimata arrived in the house of Advaitacharya, she took charge of cooking, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dined in the company of all the devotees. Because she requested that, I may not see him again, so let me at least cook for him. All the people who came during the day saw Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in friendly behavior Advaitacharya. At night, they had opportunity to see the Lord's dancing and hear his chanting. When the Lord performed Kirtana, he manifested all kinds of transcendental symptoms. He appeared stunned and trembling. His hair stood on end and his voice faltered. There were tears and devastation. Frequently, the Lord would tumble on the ground. Seeing this, the mother Sachi would cry. Srimati Sachimata thought that the body of Nimai was being smashed. When he fell down, she cried, alas, and petitioned Lord Vishnu. My dear Lord, kindly bestow this benediction as a result of whatever service I have rendered unto you from my childhood. Whenever Nimai falls to the surface of the earth, please do not let him feel any pain. So mother is praying. With Sachimata, the old and parental love for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, she became transformed with happiness, fear, and humility as well as bodily symptoms. He is also feeling ecstasy in meditation on her. Since Advaitacharya was giving alms of food to the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the other devotees headed by Srivas Thakur also desired to give him alms and invite him for lunch. So everybody said, we will also cook for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hearing the proposal made by other devotees, the Lord Mother Sachi said to the devotees, how many times shall I get a chance to see Nimai again? Sachimata submitted, as far as you are concerned, you can meet Nimai, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, many times somewhere else. What is the possibility of my ever meeting him again? I shall have to remain at home. A sannyasi never returns to his home. Mother Sachi appealed to all the devotees to give her this charity as long as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained at the house of Advaitacharya. Only she could supply him food. Hearing this appeal from Mother Sachi, all the devotees offered obeisance and said, we all agree to whatever Mother Sachi desires. Okay, so she said, I will cook for him. So they said, okay, fine. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the mother's great eagerness, he became a little agitated and therefore assembled all the devotees present and spoke to them. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu informed them all, without your order, I shall try to go to Vrindavan. There was some obstacle, however, I had to return. My dear friends, although I have suddenly accepted the renounced order, I still know that I will never be indifferent to you. My dear friend, as long as I remain manifest, I shall never give you up, nor I will be able to give up my mother. After accepting sannyasa, it is not the duty of a sannyasi to remain at the birthplace encircled by relatives. Make some arrangements so that I may not leave you. At the same time, people may not blame me for remaining with the relatives after taking sannyas. After hearing Lord Chaitanya's statement, all the devotees headed by Advaitacharya approached Mother Sachi. When they submitted Lord Chaitanya's statement, Mother Sachi, who is the mother of the universe, began to speak. Sachi Mata said, great happiness for me if Nimai, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stays here. But at the same time, if somebody blasphemes, it will be my great unhappiness. Mother Sachi said, this consideration is good in my opinion. If Nimai remains at Jagannath Puri, he may not leave any one of us, and at the same time can remain aloof as a sannyasi. Thus, both purposes are fulfilled. So if he goes to Jagannath Puri, so we will be still in touch with us. And he can be a sannyasi at the same time I'm in touch with him. So both purposes fulfilled. So he recommend, don't go to Vrindavan, go to Jagannath Puri. So Jagannath Puri and Navadip are intimately related, as if there were two rooms in the same house. People from Navadip generally go to Jagannath Puri, and those in Jagannath Puri go to Navadip. This is going and coming will help carry the news of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this way, I shall be able to get news of him. All the devotees will be able to come and go. Sometimes he may also come to take his bath in the Ganges, and that's what he does later. I do not care for my personal happiness or unhappiness, but only for his happiness. Indeed, I accept his happiness as my happiness. So Prabhupada says that in the law, purport and explanation, he says that actually the mother is Maya, but only when she pushes a child towards Krishna, she doesn't remain Maya. Because otherwise, Ma means Maya. Generally, the mothers are so attached to the child, they don't encourage the child to dedicate life to serve Krishna. So that Ma becomes Maya, mother. But the mother who pushes the child, my dear child, go surrender to Krishna as real mother. I do not care for personal happiness. Okay. After hearing Sachima, the devotee offered a prayers and assured that her order, like a Vedic injunction, could not be violated. All the devotees informed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya Sachima, the decision. Hearing it, the Lord became very pleased. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered respect to all the devotees present from Navadip, another town, speaking to him as follows. My dear friend, you're all my intimate friend. Now I am begging a favor from you. Please give it to me. Lord Chaitanya requested them all to return home and begin chanting the holy name congregationally. He also requested them to worship Krishna, chant his holy name, and discuss all his pastime. Krishna Katha, Krishna Aradhana, Krishna Nama, Sada Krishna Sankirtana. After thus instructing the devotee, Lord asked their permission to go to Jagannath Puri. He assured them that at the intervals he would come there and meet them again and again. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, offering his due respect to all the devotees, smiling very mildly, bid them farewell. After requesting all the devotees to return home, Lord decided to go to Jagannath Puri. At that time, Haridas Thakur began to cry and speak some pathetic words. Haridas Thakur said, you are going to Jagannath Puri and that is all right, but what will be my destination? I am not able to go to Jagannath Puri because I am the lowest among men. I shall not be able to see you. How shall I maintain my sinful life? The Lord replied to Haridas Thakur, please check your humility. Just seeing your humility very much agitates my mind. Lord Chaitanya assured Haridas Thakur that he would place a petition before Lord Jagannath and that he would certainly take him there to Jagannath Puri. In fact, Lord Chaitanya made arrangement for his stay. After the Advaita Acharya respectfully requested Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to show him mercy by remaining another 2 to 4 days. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never violated the request of Advaita Acharya, therefore remained at his house and did not leave immediately for Jagannath Puri. Lord Chaitanya decided to receive very happily by Advaita Acharya, Mother Sachina, all the devotees of Advaita Acharya celebrate every day with a great festival. During the day, the devotees discuss subject matters concerning Krishna. At night, there was a great festival of congregation chanting in the house of Advaita Acharya. Mother Sachi cooked with great pleasure and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, along with the devotees, accepted the prasada with great pleasure. In this way, all the opulence of Advaita Acharya, his faith, devotion, home, riches, everything else was successfully utilized in the worship of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As Mother Sachi constantly saw the face of her son and fed him, her own happiness increased and they were indeed complete. In this way, at Advaita Acharya's house, all the devotees met and passed some days together in a greatly festival mood. The next day, the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requested all the devotees return to their respective homes. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also asked them to execute the congregation chanting of the holy name of the Lord at their homes, and he assured them that they would be able to meet him again. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told them, sometimes you will come to Jagannath Puri and sometimes I shall come to take bath in the Ganga. Sri Advaita Acharya sent 4 persons, Nityananda Gosai, Jagadanand Pandit, Damodara Pandit, and Mukunda Datta to accompany the Lord. After pacifying his mother, Sachimata, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu submitted prayer at her lotus feet. When everything was arranged, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu circumambulated his mother, then started for Jagannath Puri. In the house of Advaita Acharya, there was tumultuous crying because he so much attachment. Spiritual attachment is actually even stronger than mental attachment. Even Lord Krishna, we read in Bhagavatam, when he was leaving Hastinapur, going back to Dwarka, everybody was crying. Sri Chaitanya was unaffected. He left swiftly. Another Acharya followed him weeping. He's walking away, crying. After they followed Sri Chaitanya for some distance, the Acharya was petitioned by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with folded hands. The Lord spoke the following sweet words. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, please pacify all the devotees and my mother. If you become agitated, no one will be able to continue to exist. Saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Advaita Acharya and stopped him from falling any further. And without anxiety, please. Oh. Saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Advaita Acharya and stopped him from falling any further. Then without anxiety, proceeded to Jagannath Puri. The Lord with other 4 persons went along the bank of the Ganges, along the path of the Chaturboga toward Niladri, Jagannath Puri. In this book known as Chaitanya Mangala, Chaitanya Bhagavata, Vrindavan Das Thakur elaborately described the Lord's passage to Jagannath Puri. If one hears the activity of the Lord of the house of Advaita Acharya, he will certainly soon attain the riches or love of Krishna. praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Raghunatha, always desiring their mercy. I, Krishnadas, narrate Sri Chitanya Chariramita following in their footsteps. Wonderful. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Very interesting.
Thank you,
Krishna
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji,
Dandavat
Prabhuji,
Pranam.
Prabhuji. Thank you very
Hare
much.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
No questions today?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hello, we're just reading the translations. This is just what is a limited study. Better than that will be. My voice was not audible.
It was
Audible.
No, Prabhuji, audible.
It was audible.
Audible,
It was audible,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Manasvi, you could hear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Then
Yes,
Manasvi, you don't have any question today?
No, Prabhuji.
Then you can dance for 3 hours like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
No, Prabhuji. I am so small in devotional service also, materially and spiritually also.
How long you can dance?
Prabhuji, I can dance for at least a minimum 15 minutes or half an hour.
Maximum. Then you get tired, huh?
Yes, Prabhuji. I can take breaks also, Prabhuji, and then dance.
Yes. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dances for 3 hours together. How will you accompany him?
Prabhuji, I will try to reach his level by increasing devotional service.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so everybody keep chanting. So nice to hear about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then you sleep, you think about the Sankirtan and the house of Advaitacharya and the feast. Hai? Correct?
Those items were really good. Mouth
You know
watering.
cooking, so you know all the items. I don't know anything. Huh? Bada, badi, so many varieties of vegetables, rice. Hai? So much affection and gratitude. Hai? So we should build a community with the same kind of standards. Okay? Hare Krishna.